Atomic Habits by James Clear. Habits are the invisible architecture of our daily lives. Every small decision, every repeated action, big or small, shapes who we become over time. So, in Atomic Habits, James Clear argues that it's not massive actions that bring lasting change. It's the tiny, consistent improvements done daily that truly shape our success. He calls these small actions atomic habits, small like atoms, but with the power to create explosive transformation. When they compound over time, Clear begins with a simple idea. If you improve by just 1% every day, you will become 37 times better in a year, and that is the power of compounding. We all know compounding works with money. That's why the richest people in the world got there through investments they made years ago. Now imagine the same power applied to your personal growth. Imagine if you became 1% better every single day. Over time, that small edge can lead to massive results. Now this book is about how to do that. It's about turning small, seemingly insignificant actions into extraordinary transformations. So first, how does he explain habits? Let's start at the beginning. All habits follow a 4-step loop. Cue gives craving, gives response, gives reward. When you understand this loop, you can start to see how habits form and how to change them. 1. The cue is the trigger. Think of it as the starting point of the habit. It's the thing that sets the whole process off. 2. The craving is the motivation behind the habit. It's the reason you do what you do. 3. The response is the actual behavior. It's the thing you do in response to the cue. 4. Once you understand how the habit loop works, you can start to break bad habits and create new ones. That's because Clear identifies 4 simple rules of behavior change, one for each step of the loop. Let's start with the first law. Make it obvious. Our environment largely drives our behavior. What do I mean by that? Well, think about it. You're more likely to pick up a snack if you see it sitting on the counter. So the first law is about making the cues for your good habits more obvious. If a cue is not obvious, the habit will never start. There are 2 methods to make a habit obvious. First, implementation intentions. Implementation intentions are basically plans. They help you decide when and where you're going to do your habit. For example, I will meditate for 1 minute at 7 a.m. in my bedroom. I will read 10 pages after lunch in my office. By setting clear intentions, you're setting yourself up for success. Second, habit stacking. This is another strategy that helps you make your habits more obvious. Habit stacking is basically linking a new habit to an existing one. For example, after I drink my morning tea, I will read 10 pages. Or when I brush my teeth in the morning, I will meditate for 60 seconds. By linking a new habit to an old one, you're increasing the chances that you'll stick to it. In addition, design your space so it supports your habits. If you want to read more, keep a book on your pillow. If you want to eat healthier, keep fruits on the kitchen counter. Out of sight is out of mind. So make your good habits impossible to ignore. So to sum up the first law, make it obvious. Set yourself up for success. Choose your spots wisely and link new habits to existing ones. Moving on to the second law, make it attractive. People are more likely to do things that appeal to them. It's human nature. We're naturally drawn to what's interesting and exciting. So the second law is about making your habits more appealing, more attractive. How do you do that? Through temptation bundling. Temptation bundling is basically pairing something you need to do with something you enjoy. In addition, surround yourself with people who already have the habits you want. Join groups, find mentors and role models, and let their positive habits rub off on you. Finally, make your desired habits part of a social identity you want to belong to. For example, I am a healthy person. I am a writer. When you identify yourself with certain habits, you're more likely to stick to them because you don't want to disappoint yourself. The second law is about making it attractive. Set the stage for success. Pair habits with things you love and join communities that support your goals. Next, the third law. Make it easy. We often believe change must be difficult. After all, we talk about toughing it out or working hard. But the truth is, the easier the habit, the more likely we'll do it. That's why the third law is about making your habits as easy as possible. Now you might be thinking, wait, doesn't that defeat the purpose? If I make it easy, won't I lose motivation? No, not at all. Here's why. You see, motivation doesn't come from the goal. Motivation comes from the system. When you have a clear system, a clear set of steps that you follow every time, motivation takes care of itself. You do not need to motivate yourself to do the next step because you're already in the flow. How do you make your habits easier? It's through the 2-minute rule. This rule states that you should start with something that's impossible to fail at. Want to read more? Start by reading just 1 page. Want to get fit? Start by putting on your workout shoes. The key is to make the habit automatic. Humans are creatures of habit. We naturally gravitate towards things that are familiar and comfortable, so use this to your advantage. Once you've made a habit automatic, it's much easier to stick to it. Repetition is more important than perfection. Don't aim for intensity. Aim for consistency. Don't worry about missing a day here or there. Just get back on track as soon as you can. Reduce friction. This is another way to make your habits easier. Prepare your environment in advance. For example, if you want to write daily, keep your laptop open and ready to go. If you want to avoid distractions, delete the apps that tempt you. Basically, make the right thing the easy thing. The third law is about making it easy. Don't overcomplicate things. Start small, automate, and prepare yourself for success. Finally, the fourth law. Make it satisfying. People repeat behaviors that feel good. It's just human nature. We want to feel rewarded for our actions. The fourth law is all about making your habits more rewarding. How do you do that? First, use habit tracking. Tracking your habits helps you see your progress over time. It gives you a sense of accomplishment, and that feeling is extremely motivating. Second, create immediate rewards. That's why it's easier to scroll endlessly than to stick to a workout routine. Mark an X every day you complete your habit. Visual progress is motivating. Feels satisfying to keep the streak going. And remember this rule. Never miss twice. Missing one day is okay. Life happens. All right, so those are the 4 laws of behavior change. Most people focus on what they want to achieve. I want to lose weight. I want to write a book. Because every action you take is a vote for the type of person you want to become. Those are some of the key ideas from Atomic Habits. Focus on systems, not goals. Build the process, not just the outcome. And use the 4 laws. Make it obvious. Make it attractive. Make it easy. And make it satisfying. And above all, focus on identity-based habits. Who do you want to become? Let that guide your actions, and you'll see how powerful habits can transform your life. Thank you for watching.